This has to be the craziest laptop that we've ever taken a look at. What we've got here is the new Medusa by a company known as Xyber. And as you can see, it's not a normal laptop. We've actually got triple displays here. These are not detachable. And right in the middle, we've got a 16-inch 1200p IPS. And on each side, we've got 10.5-inch fold-out vertical displays. Surprisingly enough, the laptop itself is constructed of aluminum, and the hinge system they use here is really sturdy. I mean, obviously it needs to be to hold up all three displays here. I have seen detachable screens for laptops. I mean, you can add them on to basically anything, but I've never seen a laptop with three screens built in like this. We've also got a pretty large trackpad with fingerprint login. And the keyboard here isn't half bad either. It's a chiclet design. It is backlit, but it's just a single zone white LED with brightness control. Couple proprietary hotkeys built in here to control the brightness on the side screens. So yeah, we've got access to that from keys on the keyboard itself. And again, it is constructed of aluminum. Got the hinge system all the way around except for on the very top because obviously we don't need it there. And overall, build quality isn't half bad. Over here on the right-hand side, we've got two USB 3.2 ports, 3.5mm audio jack, and gigabit Ethernet. Moving over to the right-hand side, USB-C, it's actually USB-C 3.2, another full-size 3.2 port, full-size HDMI, and our power input. And I was a little disappointed that we don't have USB 4 here, but if we take a look around back, there's a port that we don't normally see on laptops. It's marked PCIe Express. Turns out this is an Oculink connector, but it's a little larger than our regular Oculink connector that we've seen on handhelds and mini PCs for the past couple of years. This is actually an Oculink AI connector. And I'm pretty excited about this one because it offers up to 100 gigs per second as opposed to regular Oculink, which is usually known as Oculink 4i's 62 gigs per second. Unfortunately, at the time of making this video, I don't have any way to test it, but I did order this. So it's an 8i Oculink PCIe X16 slot. I've also got a cable on the way so we can do a makeshift eGPU. And yeah, we should be able to get some really good speeds out of an eGPU on this laptop. So if you're interested in seeing a video like that, make sure you keep an eye on the channel because I will have a video coming. And when it comes to the overall specs of the Medusa triple screen laptop, they opted to use the Intel Core i7-12700P CPU. 12 cores, 16 threads, and this will clock up to 4.7 gigahertz. Built-in Intel Iris Xe graphics, and this is the 96 execution unit version. We can add up to 64 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM at 3200 megahertz. We've got two M.2 slots internally, so we can add quite a bit of storage here. One 16-inch 1200p IPS screen right there in the middle, and two 10.5-inch displays on each side with a resolution of 1280 by 1920. All of them do run at 60 Hz. We've got Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.2, a 77 watt-hour battery, and this thing is a bit of a hoss coming in at 2.6 kilograms. And out of the box, this is running Windows 11. I wanted to give you a look at the internals here, and the bottom is constructed of aluminum, so it will pull a little bit of heat out. Now, they do state that this supports up to 3200 megahertz DDR4, but inside of this unit, we've got 32 gigs at 2666 from the factory. It's running in dual channel, but it would have been nice to have that faster RAM because we're mainly going to be relying on the iGPU. And theoretically, with an iGPU, if we've got faster memory here, we need to pull from that for VRAM. We could get better GPU performance. So it's a little bit of a letdown that they're using 2666. But if we take a close look, you can see we've got that extra M.2 slot. And it looks like the way we could set this up is with two 2 terabyte drives, bringing it up to a total of 4 terabytes internally. Obviously, a triple screen laptop isn't going to be for everybody, but when it comes to overall usability, much better than I thought it would be. I mean, the trackpad and the keyboard feel much nicer than I thought we'd have on something like this. And the way I've got the screen set up is basically 3 different desktops, so we can control each one of these individually. Now, one thing I noticed was from our display settings inside of Windows, we have no way to make this just one large screen. We can either duplicate a display on one or the other, or do triple displays. I mean, that's basically what we've got here. I will admit that I could be missing something here, but I did try to dig deep to kind of find an expanded view because it would be really nice to use all 3 screens as a single display. Now, I know we've got those borders on each of them, but when it comes down to it, with that 16-inch in the middle and two 10.5-inch displays, we've got 29 inches of screen space here that we could work with. So I'm not exactly sure what people would be doing with triple displays. Now, mainly I'd say coding on each side, but what I've got here is Copilot up on the left-hand side. You could run some AI to cheat on your homework. Over on the right-hand side, we could watch a video on YouTube. And right in the middle, we could get some coding done if we want to, or we could swap these around. I mean, it's really up to you. Obviously, over on that right-hand side, we don't have a full screen for a video, but for most people, you could still tell what's going on, and it doesn't have to be YouTube. You could run Macs, you could run Netflix. I mean, basically anything you could run in Windows 11, you can get up and running on either of these screens here. And with HDMI out, if you want to kind of dock this, you could have 4 screens using an external monitor. I did try USB-C over on the side, but I couldn't get video out. It does state that it's 3.2, and usually we can do video out. I just really wish they would have used Thunderbolt 4. Even Thunderbolt 3 would have been nice. That way, we could definitely get more displays out, and we can connect a cheaper Thunderbolt 3 eGPU here to just get more GPU performance out of it. But this Intel Core i7-1270P isn't a slouch. It's not the most powerful chip on the market, but it is handling triple displays better than I thought, and for everyday normal use, web browsing, document editing, email checking, you want to do some photo editing here, this 1270p will handle it just fine, even with those built-in Intel Iris Xe graphics. And when it comes to overall performance settings for this chip, there's really not much to mess around with in the BIOS. Of course, you could install a third-party application to up that TDP and get some more performance out of it, but I'm using the built-in Windows power profile, so I'm in performance mode right now, and I wanted to run a couple benchmarks and just show you what we've got. In performance mode, Geekbench 6 CPU performance, single core 2028, multi 8069. And this is the first time I'm testing the 1270p. I took a look at the Geekbench browser and it looks like some people at around 65 watts are up to around 2200 single. It looks like in performance mode, we're up to around 48 watts. And when it comes to iGPU performance using 3D Mark Time Spy, 1353. So not phenomenal. And we are working with slower RAM, 2666. Throwing some 3200 in here might up that a bit, but it's not going to be a huge jump. I also wanted to test out a couple games here, and I kind of know the limits of the Intel Iris Xe iGPU. We've got Hades 2, not a super hard game to run. 1200p high settings, we're at 60, and I've also got something known as Wallpaper Engine running in the background, so that is using a little bit of GPU there. But we can still run 2D games and indie games, no problem at all with this setup. Moving up just a bit, now it's an older one. We've got Left 4 Dead 2, and I think it would be awesome if we could use an extended display here. That way we've got all 3 monitors, and with these older first-person shooters, I think it would be a pretty cool experience. But right now, I've got this running at 1200p, medium settings, locked at 60 FPS. And the final one I wanted to test was Cyberpunk 2077. I wanted to take it up just to see if we could run it, and I was actually pretty surprised. We're at 800p low. We're using XeSS set to performance because we've got the Intel iGPU, but we're seeing an average of around 36 FPS. Now we're nowhere near what we can do on a much higher end laptop, but we could lock this down at 3800p and play Cyberpunk 2077. I figured we'd be under 30 with it, even at these really low settings. But to my surprise, I mean, we're over 30 FPS. Last thing I wanted to talk about here were CPU temps, and as you saw when we pulled the bottom off, we've got a single fan design. For this chip, the cooler does seem sufficient, and in performance mode, we can do up to 48 watts. Average normal use, this is around 55 degrees Celsius. Average gaming with what I tested, up to around 64, and the maximum recorded temperature was 78 degrees Celsius, so we never hit thermal throttle with this, even while running benchmarks. Overall, not a bad design. I do like the fact that it's fully constructed of aluminum. Now, I would love to see a better CPU GPU combo in something like this, given that we've got triple displays that we need to drive here. Having something like a higher end Ryzen chip, maybe even an HX 370 and a later variant would be really nice for a setup like this. But it's a very niche laptop. Not a lot of people out there are going to need to carry around triple screens on something like this. I do think it's a cool concept for people who can utilize this, But again, there's just not going to be a huge demand for a laptop like this right now. But if you're one of those people who are interested, I will leave links in the description. You can learn a little more. If there's anything else you want to see running on this when we do some eGPU testing using that Oculink AI connector around back, just let me know in the comments below. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. And like always, thanks for watching.